Gila kasla, nugwa gakasolas a. My traditional name is Gakasolas, and my given name is Cheryl Wadhams, and I just wanted to welcome you to the Reid Gallery of Northwest Coast Art and to our newest exhibition called Keeping the Song Alive. Ida was a newcomer back in the 1950s. She moved to Vancouver from Europe. She left Nazi Germany with her husband, and she studied in Europe as a ethnomusicologist. And she came to Canada with the intent of working in the area of Indigenous music, and she ended up finding out about the Kwakwaka'wakw First Nation and the First Nations here in British Columbia, and she wanted to be a part of preserving the music. So I know that she befriended Chief Billy Assu somewhere down the line, and she ended up going into the community, which is on Vancouver Island, and she was in their community for about 6 years, just to gain their trust, to be able to even start recording the music. So, like at that time, of course, it was right in the middle of the potlatch ban, and I'm sure the highways and that were not even built then. So it was quite rugged, and she took a very large recording device with her. And I think she ended up recording about 100 songs with Chief Billy Assu and his wife. And then she ended up meeting Mungo Martin, Chief Mungo Martin in Victoria. And he was working on a project in Victoria, a totem pole project in there. And she recorded him as well, him and his wife as well. So. The exhibition will be on the mezzanine level of the Reid Gallery of Northwest Coast Art, and we'll be featuring some items that that are on loan that have to do with Ida Halpern, her recorder, a record, and some photographs. And we've also interviewed many community members, so we'll have statements from them and their kind of take on how Ida Halpern's recordings reflected on their lives, and as well as we'll have like video and audio recordings that people will be able to watch and listen to. And we have also videos that talk about the potlatch, and we'll all have an interactive activity as well. So the pieces of art that we have on display, so we have some traditional dance robes that are on loan, and these are robes that are traditionally used in our big house during ceremony. So when we talked about putting this exhibition together, we wanted to make sure that we included, not just Ida Halpern, but we wanted to make sure that we included the Kwakwaka'wakw community, so the community members and what they have done to support culture. So that's one art piece. Also, we have a couple of contemporary art pieces, one art piece by Andy Everson and another one by Sunny Assu, and they also speak to the potlatch band, and it directly connects to Ida Halpern and the work that she did with Chiefs Billy Assu and Mungo Martin. When talking about the songs, just a small tidbit that I'd like to add is that the culture and the songs never really died. Because of the potlatch ban, some of the chiefs and communities, they they kind of went underground, and they went to isolated places and took their ceremonies there away from the eyes of government. So Ida was definitely a part of preserving, but not the entire part. So when you talk about the songs that she helped preserve, some of these songs are still being used today, which is great. I know that there's been a few younger community members that have gone to the museum in Victoria and done some research for their families, and they've learned some of these songs and they've brought them back into the potlatch ceremonies, which is like so amazing. They were able to listen to Mungo Martin and Billy Assu and how they sang these songs, and like the intonation, and that's kind of her experience as an ethnomusicologist. So they were able to bring that forward and learn those songs in that way. And to hear his voice from the past too, that was kind of an interesting thing too. So yeah. When speaking about the preservation of the music, I think it was equally as important to Ida to help in that aspect, and then it was equally important to Chief Billy Assu and Mungo Martin because of the potlatch ban, because of residential schools, because of language loss, colonization, things like these that interrupted the daily lives of the Indigenous people all over Canada, not just the west coast of Canada. The challenges in keeping, the culture and language and music alive, I think it just basically goes back to, we really need a community to have that survive, especially when you talk about language. Myself, I'm a new language learner. I started like maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's very difficult. We don't have a lot of our elders around, especially in the city, and our elder community is very limited, especially the ones that are fluent language learners. And I know that there are programs out there, but again, it's just limited on, being able to learn our language fluently and understand it, to comprehend it, on everyday conversation even too. So. You definitely need, you need a lot of resources, maybe schools, definitely community is vital, and family as well. So. I believe Ida understood the impacts of like cultural erasure. So because of the Nazi Germany and things that happened at that time, were kind of parallel to things that were happening, here in North America with the Indigenous communities. So I think she definitely understood that, and that came across, I'm sure, in their conversations with the chiefs. And I'm almost positive, and I've through my research we found out some interesting stories that when she was getting to know Chief Billy Assu, she was going into the communities and into the homes, and she was shelling peas for like 5 years before they would even let her consider recording them. So she had to basically become a part of their family, a part of the community. Personally, when it comes to culture and preserving it, I have to be very grateful for the work that Ida and these particular chiefs did. What they did was profound. I'm sure if they were here today, they would be very happy to see what's happening today, because the work they did is still helping our people carry on and carry forward. Personally, I can say that what I've learned from my family. So I've learned, Kwakwaka'wakw words. I've learned processes in the big house, procedures in the big house, how we act and what we do, what to listen for, even though I'm not a fluent language learner. Also I think is, you know, kind of how to carry yourself as well in our culture, and being respectful, and honoring our elders and lifting up our youth as well. So. Gila Kasla, thank you so much. We hope you can come down to the Bill Reid Gallery to see the exhibition, which will be going until March 2023. And if you want to find out more information, please visit our website at billreidgallery.ca.